I just did a video for about 3 minutes and it shut me down. I think because my cigarette was too long and they wanted me to restart again. It's like my cigarette is going out. So many things I have gone over, but what I have found the most intriguing is when I come up with the same number of 5775. When I read the Hebrew letters, Aleph stands up on a leg because that is for God's leg. He is the master creator, he is the scientist. Call the left leg of the Aleph a science leg. That science, okay, crossed over and got something female, okay? You got the female, which is in the 3 position. It's supposed to be in the 2 position. That is the creation. So it does not show you what it used for creation. All it says is the 2 funny parts in the olive, okay, is 2 parts of creation. What it created was the spirit. That was the connection between God, okay, and the 3-corner. Now the spirit is in the center that connects. But the spirit connected what God created. It was a birth, and the extension of that straight line goes from position 1 of tic-tac-toe over to position number 9. When you go to the bet, okay, the bet shows you that it starts indented on 1, but the same indentation is on the gimel, okay. The only reason for the leg on the bet is to show you it takes up the whole bottom row. It's the only reason. The gimel does not. The gimel shows you all the 3 rows. Okay, and it has to show you the leg and then that gap in between. Otherwise, it would look like a nun. Okay. Anyways, the bet explains God, heaven, and birth, the 3 items. Okay. The bet says creation 1, 2, 3 with Aleph and Beta. Okay. And it also says it creates man, the bet. The reason and difference between the bet and the vet is that dot in the center of the bet means man is connected for creation, but he is not connected, okay, to the 4 position. That 4 position is life, because it already tells you in that dot, the 4 position in that dot is already included. Okay, so that's the bet. It tells you about life. So, like the Dalet letter, okay, 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 9. 1, 2, 3 is 6, 3, 6, 9 is 18. The total is 24, and it says, Dalet says, creation of man's birth on this earth, which brought the 4 worlds together. Hey, it tells you everything, and then it says God and his 4 corners. What is God and his 4 corners? Excuse me. God in his 3 corners. Why the 3 corners? Because in a square there are 4 corners, okay? But God occupies 1, so he looks out. He looks out of the 4 corners. So the extension of the leg represents 4 on the tic-tac-toe, 4 corners in which God sees 3. That would be HEAVENOF, and it also equals to life because the color of the letter is green, okay? You see, I don't have to know anything about reading these letters. I just know what the numbers say on tic-tac-toe. And the position, you see the Zion, okay, the Zion is over the Y letter in the center of the letters underneath. But the Vav, okay, starts on the last beat of Vav, and which is the first section. So one says man, creation, and birth, and Zion says 258, which means the beta world, okay, of the connection, which is the spirit of the heavens. Zion is connecting the 2 heavens. Zion is number 64. 64 is life of man. You're not telling me that God didn't give us a secret in these letters where they say the Hebrews are the first ones? The first ones of what? These letters tell you just right out in front of me. I don't read a book. I haven't looked at a book. I just look at the position. Because the 1 position I'm quite sure I'd like to see a Hebrew phone. I'd like to see a Hebrew calculator. I want to see where their letters and numbers are. Because every position of every number, don't forget we're in the matrix. So whatever came into us came out of God, and it went into man, and man created the computer. Man created the computer with what God gave him in his knowledge. Man just had to decipher it with time. Time's up. Because I too had deciphered things with time. And one of the things I may have said already is the resh. Okay? Resh is 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 9, and I told you that in the chet, and I told you that in the vet. The difference with the resh and the vet is the vet, it includes God and the corners. Okay? In the resh, okay, there's only one corner. Okay? So the resh would be actually the creation of the spirit and the birth. So it's just telling you a story, the birth and creation. Okay, makes the resh. And that's what makes man altogether, because it also passes by the sixth position. Shin and sin, well, like I said, you got four corners, in which one corner God sits and he sees the other three corners. Well, each one of those candles represents a corner. Okay, the dot on the top, on the shin, represents man. It's the dot. It's the dot of the eye. It's man. Okay? But it's not only man. It's man with spirit. That's why it's on the right. In sin, it just says spirit. It doesn't say man without spirit. The sin on the left is man is just a spirit shin of the three corners of creation. Three corners of creation with the spirit and without. I can tell you anything you want to know. Another thing I created, I'm going to light up a cigarette. You don't mind? We only 6 minutes into this. Don't forget, I'm nothing without you. I'm nothing. Who am I? I enjoy what I'm doing. Maybe I can get out there. Maybe something I say will change something. Maybe. Who cares? What's the difference? Is the difference to you because you're watching and wasting your time? Is it a difference to you because you're watching and gaining the knowledge? When everybody says, what's the difference? The majority seem to say, I don't care. But it's not that I don't care. It means no reason. I'm doing this because this is what I feel is the truth inside my heart. This comes inside my mind so strong. It's almost like, I know. So it's almost like writing a book, writing a movie and really believing deeply into it. Anyways, what I want to show you is, in tennis, they went for love. You have the two worlds, right? World here and world here. Okay? They come together here on paper. They connect to these two. Now the world has to spin this way. At the same time, it's got to spin this way. One way is for man's life, and the other way is for the life of our world. Because man has to turn one way, and the spirit has to turn another way. That's the heavens. The heavens is the connection of the spirit. So they have to turn. In fact, let me write that down. The spirit to a turn, and 4 and 6 is for man. This is for the connection. Okay, I could never really understand that. 2 and 8 is for the connection of the 5 spirits. 2 and 8 is in tic-tac-toe. It's one up here, one in the center, one down. It says B-E-H. It also says bell. If you don't cross the line on the H, it has 2 L's. The bell means the ring. The ring are the diamond rings. The ring is the 6 dice that really doesn't exist when you connect X's all the way up each side. Am I telling you really much? So now what I want to show you is, you see the box? There's one box there and one box there. Okay? In the center, why it's shaped like that, which is why the fleur-de-lis on the Quebec flag has that center mark like the 258 with the 2 hanging leaves on the side, or the 4 and the 6. Okay, because the fleur-de-lis is the first heaven, the red heaven of God, okay, and our world. The bottom of the fleur-de-lis, the tails of the fleur-de-lis, the bird, is the other world, the other universe, is the universe God used to create this whole thing. Okay, that's the fleur-de-lis. So what you see in the center is, that's the rotation of life. But the whole thing is, like I said, it goes like this. That's the way, and when you go like this, if you take a look and put only one line, you put one line through it, and it's the percentage sign, right? It's a percentage sign, you put one line because that's the way our universe is set up. And then what you do to that is pretty simple. You go ahead and you make a little curve on it. Let me see if I can do this with you. As you notice, I just went around the circle and it turns into a 6. Okay, you see the 6 there? Well, that red mark turns into a 6. The other one turns into a 9. That percentage key turns into a 6 and a 9. It's on the 5 key of your keyboard. The 5 is a 42 letter count, which is the same letter count as the 9. The 9 is the birth, the 5 is connection of the 6. So therefore they have to go together. The start key, have you ever seen the start key on the 8? Means the heavens. This is what it basically looks like. Those are all 4 sevens, okay? 4 sevens, 4 corners. Now I turn the 7 sideways. Now we have 8 sevens in which you don't see, and a passageway in between. Below it, okay, what I did is I made the center square disappear, and I put a dot. Below it, I put a square in the center over a dot. I extended the lines to reach the 2, 4, 6, 8, and then I extended out halfway through the 1, 3, 7, and 9 corners. And the reason I had to do that is because in creation you need the 1 and the 3 corner. So they become triangle halves. Why triangle halves? Because they're part of more than one world. So it had to be cut. And the connection of Trinity is 3. One is the create, one is the person who creates, one is the result of what the creation is. That's the Trinity, the 3 parts of creation. So, 3 parts of creation. Trinity. So anyways, this book I wanted to show you again. You might have seen it once or twice. But let me something. There's something powerful out there. It must be in Israel. I don't want to say the whole Middle East. I'm going to just say Israel. I'm sorry, everybody else. You're all in there on it too. Okay, it just seems to happen to be in a different land. But most of your rules and laws, basically down to your deep down heart, are all gracious to the same Lord. So therefore, you too are wise and a part of whatever comes out of the Middle East. All Middle Easterns are infected. All Middle Easterns are infected with the knowledge and the passage of the history in the lands of the Middle East, which no other man, okay, around the world can say unless you're one generation from the Middle East. You are from the passing lands. You are from the lands of the incoming. You are the last land to see. You are the Pluto. You are the last land we will see at the end, as Pluto seems to be disappearing. But the Almighty Israel will not disappear because they are part of history. And it's all here in this design, and everything I've done for the last, my whole life, but let's just say the last year of my life is MrTacpans's. Did his first 170 videos in 5 weeks, and then he did 200 in about 5 months, 5 weeks, and I've done another 100 and something videos. I'm programmed. I must do one. I think I know something. Oh, and I didn't show you that last picture. Look at the center. It's a Magen David. It's a snowflake and a Magen David. It shows you a heart, a 5. It shows you so many things if you know what you're looking for. But most of all, what it shows you is I'm connected to truth. I believe I'm connected to truth. I believe that I'm pretty wise. I check what I do. I rethink, am I stupid? And then I say to myself, well, you know what? If I was a schizophrenic, or maybe I could be, but you know what? I just believe. I just solely believe, and